Guys, we are back. Lad Chat Podcast episode. Fucking, what are we on?
16 and a half.
60.5.
So it's me, Jim, with Chris and Ratty.
Hello.
We're here on a lovely Sunday.
And the World Cup started.
World Cup.
Yes, good.
What do you think so far, Rat?
Well, to be honest, sorry, mate. Go on.
I loved the Spanish and the Portugal game.
What a
that was
game.
a really, really good game.
Yeah, it was a good game, wasn't
I
it?
missed most of that.
But Uruguay and
Peru.
Egypt.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was a poor game.
It was a poor game, wasn't
There's
it?
a few poor performances from
Yeah.
what you would say big teams. The favourites.
Messi missing a penalty.
I know.
But
But
you
you know,
Ian right in the crowd with his video.
Yeah.
fucking idiot. But you know, like quite often, like in these tournaments, the big stars don't shine, do they?
Until later on, didn't
Well,
he?
fucking Ronaldo, though.
I've got to
That's
say,
right.
though.
He started from scratch, didn't he?
He was
What,
fun- he was
3 minutes in,
phenomenal.
he started
Yeah,
from.
he's
We were saying we were
phenomenal.
gutted, like, because obviously Gareth Bale would have just shone in this World Cup.
It's the
Absolutely.
stage, wasn't there? Really?
Yeah, he would have fucking just revelled in it. And it's a shame that Wales are not that good just yet to get in there.
Yes.
Yeah, just missed
But
out.
you look at
didn't
teams
he?
like fucking Australia. You know, we're much better than teams like.
Unfortunately,
Australia.
Europe is a really tough sort of
Yeah, it is
sort
a
of place
tough
to
group.
qualify for, because you
'Cause
think of
it's more of a football base.
oh yeah,
The Europe
well,
and
in like in the Australasian sort of ones where you've got like Samoa and you've got New Zealand and Australia and teams that aren't as strong, and then you look at Europe, don't you? And you've got England, France, you've got Portugal,
Yeah,
you've got
a lot of
Spain,
big
names. Italy
Italy,
are not this year,
Holland.
they?
Didn't qualify, and Holland didn't either.
That's
Crazy. You were saying about Holland, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Well, if you think, if Holland, Italy, and Wales, were, or even Ireland and Scotland, if
Yeah.
they were in any other continent, they'd probably have a good go. You know, they'd probably qualify most times, but it's just so unfortunate.
I'm interested
isn't
to
it?
see Brazil tonight. See how they go.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to suffer from any kind of.
Well, against
nerves.
Switzerland, isn't it? Switzerland.
Yeah.
The Swiss are good.
Germany and
Makes some good bloody chocolate as well.
Germany and Mexico now with them.
Oh, I miss it.
No.
Fuck, should we cancel the podcast?
Quick. I think I just really love the World Cup, and Nigerian
Yeah,
game was
awesome.
awesome yesterday,
I do
wasn't
like
it?
the World Cup.
I love watching Nigeria. I think they're so entertaining.
Who's your
aren't they?
favourite then? Who do you think's going to do
Well,
it?
I've got a bet. I've got £10 on England. Boo! But I think they might do it.
Offense, right?
I think they might
they're
do
young
it.
and
What's the score?
No.
Oh, 0-0.
it's not. They got good stars there, but they
Yeah.
don't seem to be like flamboyant as the other stars have been.
They seem to have been humbled, haven't they?
They've been grounded,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Well, normally-
and they seem to be enjoying themselves rather than trying to
Yeah.
keep to like
Yeah.
superstitious stuff.
Well, normally there's a World Cup and it's all the wags, isn't there? And it's all the footballers and how we're
Yeah.
going to win and this and that. But they're humble.
Yeah. Do you think England then? Do you think they go far?
I got a
They-
tenner.
they-
I got a tenner on. So fuck about it. I don't
What,
know.
you want to win it?
Yeah.
You got England to win the World Cup?
England and Uruguay. I really don't.
Whoa,
Do you know? For some reason,
What, Uruguay?
Uruguay. Uruguay got a good team.
Yeah, are they the best though?
But it doesn't. In a tournament, you don't have to be the best because the best teams don't always play.
Yeah,
each
but
other.
the team which works the best.
But
Because I mean that's gonna get you. Yeah, you can go far if you
Yeah.
got Ronaldo in your side.
Yeah.
And good players, but I agree. You need to be a good team.
Yeah.
But are they a good team? I'm not saying what with all.
Potentially they are. Yeah, you need good luck.
How did they play against?
They played the other day. They won 1-0, didn't they?
Egypt won it just about.
Was
Yeah.
it? Yeah, the last
It was
was in
Egypt.
93 minutes or something.
They were
wasn't it,
crying
like that?
for Mo Salah, Egypt were.
Oh, well,
But they weren't bringing him on.
No.
I think they
It's
will
too
now.
early for because of his injury, and you just
Yeah.
would have been
I
targeted
reckon
straight
they will
away.
now the next.
Do you reckon?
Next game,
They'll
yeah.
have to. They've only got
Yeah.
another
They've
2
got to,
games.
yeah, they got
got no
to
choice.
win
Definitely
now.
bring 'em
But the
in.
World Cup, though, I think the thing I love most about the World Cup is you see teams we never see. We never see the Socceroos playing, do we? You know, we don't see that.
No, I'm not a massive World Cup fan, but I've enjoyed watching a few games. Like, so I'll probably miss it in the week now because of work. But
Yeah.
it's been good. Been a lot of fun. So what's in the news, Ratty? You got us a story?
Yes, and in Indonesia,
Oh.
is it?
Yeah. Heard of it?
A 57-year-old lady was found in a 27-foot python.
No way.
Yes, and it's clips of it on
Fucking
YouTube.
hell.
Horrific.
How big was the python, did you say?
27 foot.
My
I
God.
don't wanna see
How can
that.
you see that coming, though?
Basically, she went out to do the gardening, as you do back there, and
You get eaten.
then the kids reported them missing the day after, and then they found.
So
they
after a
found
few
it-
days,
yeah.
they had no clean clothes to wear in the kitchen.
No,
Like, oh,
this
which
is
one?
like the day.
Yeah.
In the night time, it was like where she went to.
Yeah.
They found the torch,
Yeah.
but they didn't find her. Then the next day, then they went wandering. Then they came across the snake
Trying to see
with
how
a
to
very
find
very swollen body.
God, that's terrifying. Isn't
And
it?
so the villagers got a snake and cut her open, and lo and behold, there was the woman,
Christ.
and she was swallowed from the head first.
Oh, what a way to go.
So the head was to the bottom of the tail,
Yeah, sorry, I should-
and the feet to the mouth.
I've seen a picture before of a snake that had eaten an
Well, they
Alsatian.
they always used to say that, oh, a snake can't eat a human because the jaw won't get around your shoulders.
and stuff.
But I've seen him eat like
Imagine that.
antelope. I've seen
Yeah,
him
I've seen it.
Yeah.
crocodiles.
Yeah.
So
Because they would constrict you first,
yeah,
wouldn't they? They would
yeah.
coil
They'll
around
crush
you.
you.
Yeah.
She was obviously
She
killed
was
before she
suffocating.
swallowed.
yeah, as soon as you
Yeah.
as soon as
I
you
mean-
breathe, they constrict. They just keep on
Yeah,
tying and tying
yeah.
until you like pass on. The strength of them will just crush your bones anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you were dead as you'd be.
Absolutely
You're not going in there
terrifying.
alive, swallowed.
No.
You know.
But they'll probably do when in the midriff of you passing out. They'll probably try and get their jaws around you.
Oh, that's so fucking scary.
Imagine that though.
Just
Still have that in
dislocating
a
their
spider.
jaw and
though.
just.
There's some people out there who've died in the most horrific circumstances, being eaten by fucking animals.
Do you
Like,
reckon though that's your fault if you
sharks
don't see a
and lions.
27-foot python coming at you?
those just.
Well,
I mean,
it's
like,
I
how
don't,
do you?
I don't
What was
think.
it guarded
I
by?
don't think like to say something like cubs at you like.
So what she could have done? She could have tripped and fell over, and that could have been her ass.
She could have. She might have just had an accident and the snake thought, oh, food.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? Like, how unlucky is that?
Or she might have seen
How
the snake,
unlucky.
maybe
Legged it.
provoked her, trying to move it or something
Would
like
you
that.
try and provoke
it
a
just
27-foot
attacked.
snake though?
What the fucking
And
do?
if it wraps
I
around
know.
you, you're
Yeah,
fucked.
yeah,
and,
yeah,
And
to
she's
get
a
you, you're
57-year-old woman, so she probably didn't have the strength to. Like,
I
she
don't
wasn't
think
like
a
Steve
27-year-old
Irwin.
foot would be
fucked.
that big.
You're fucked.
God,
That's
that's
your ass.
horrible.
You're going down. And there's no coming back from that.
No.
But I watched the video earlier. I was going to show my dad.
Oh,
but I
well,
thought
there's
Ben
actually
asked
a
him
vid-
to
Well,
try
you've
and get
seen
it.
it.
Yeah.
Cutting it open.
Yeah, you see the footage.
How big was his head though? It must be massive.
They dislocated your jaw.
Yeah,
didn't
that's it.
Yeah, I know, but like to
The-
get
the-
someone like if you think
Their head is probably
I'm not sure what I'm trying to do
no
there.
bigger. Their head's probably no bigger than my hands are together there.
But it's like elasticated jaw.
But they just dislocate their jaws. They just,
It's like a fucking giant, strong
they,
sock.
They just
Gonna fucking eat you.
yeah. They just dislocate everything and it
See?
constricts so they can like alternate.
See,
Slowly
So, yeah,
drag you down
they
their long
just-
body.
I know we complain about the weather here, but we haven't got any animals that are going to do
I'm
that
so
to you when
glad.
you're putting the bloody things out.
Did
in
you?
the
See,
garden.
I think the worst video I saw.
That's terrible.
Similar in some country where there's
See,
fucking.
shivers after.
There's a country with there's fuckloads of piranhas. I don't know which one it is.
Amazon.
And
Yeah.
this
South
this
America,
young
usually.
this young boy fell in, and they take the body out, and it looks fake. It's just, the hair, like pretty much down to the bone.
God,
They
strip you, don't
bits,
they? Like,
yeah,
it's like
the
Garfield, isn't
shoes.
it?
I think the shoes.
In
are
a
still
fetish, like, if you ever see like cheesy horror films with piranhas, you'll see like this bubbling water effect, and it's not far off from the truth.
yeah.
It's
I felt so sorry.
It's
It's
so
just-
rapid because like just hundreds of numbers.
You
Just
like to
Yeah.
think it would be
attacking
quick,
I can't. Oh God,
I don't know, but they could.
Being crushed to death by a snake, though.
What's probably the worst way to go, though?
Oh God, I don't know.
Listening to
Kicked in the
Justin
balls
Bieber.
repeatedly, kicked in the neck repeatedly till you die.
Those alligators, they're in a pit and they chuck it down a piece of steak. And this one alligator kind of like went, but another alligator's foot went in the way. It kind of grabbed it, just in, thinking it's meat. Done a death roll, ripped it off, and the
Yeah.
alligator just went.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And he's just there then,
They're
munching
hard
on
though,
his
isn't
foot. Yeah.
That's hardcore.
That-
isn't it?
that-
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, they just, but that just shows, isn't it, that they just
They're just nuts. And
There's
built to eat.
They're just killing machines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they just want to eat.
what do they say if you ever get like trapped by a crocodile, you just got to jab him in his eyes, haven't you?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, that's only soft part
only thing
got
you
the-
could do, really, isn't there? But if
you're panicking.
if their jaws are closed, they're not very strong, are they?
Yeah,
apparently a kid can hold his jaws
Yeah,
closed.
you can
but when
probably
it's there-
grip. You can probably grip it.
Yeah.
With your hands like out, or put elastic band.
Yeah, well, that's what they do,
Around
don't
It's
they?
the
They-
coming down.
It's coming down, yeah, when it's like a
the pressure,
hydraulic
it's like-
press or something.
You won't rip it up.
But you get
Again,
those stupid things like in parks and where they
There's-
have
there's like
alligators
that,
and
like-
they leave their mouths open and some guy goes, I'm going to stick
Stick
my
his
head
head
in
in
There's
it.
there.
that guy,
yeah.
wasn't it? Did you
Yeah.
see him? He
And
was doing
then-
it to crocodiles.
then
And
a
he's
bit
so
of sweat.
cocky with it.
Yeah.
And then fucking just clamps onto his hands.
it
He's
serves,
like,
you, it serves you right, though. Have you seen the...
fuck wrong with shit
There's,
like that.
there's this guy in Florida, and he's like an older guy, and I don't know if it's on a golf course or something. And then there's a massive alligator on the side of it. He
Right.
goes to chuck his coat over the head,
Yeah.
and he gets really close, and the alligator just goes and grabs him by the leg. This guy looks average height guy. He throws him around like a toy. It's so powerful. There's no. If one of them will catch you, you're
You know,
screwed, aren't you?
the bulls, the power of the bulls, when you see them like running through the streets
Yeah,
and all that,
yeah.
and like taunting them, and you see the bull get their revenge on people. I know that they rag them like dolls, the bull. They just chuck them out just of ease.
Well,
just
there's that
the head.
festival in Spain, isn't there, where they let the bulls run through the street?
Yeah.
And you just see people just absolutely going hell for leather, don't you?
Why?
It's just something they've done.
why?
It's something they've done for you. So
But
what they do, they
Morons.
But they kill it after. That's,
Yeah,
that's
what
the
they
whole
do,
thing.
they let the bulls-
They spear it.
they let the bulls run, don't they,
Yeah.
for a few miles, and then when they're exhausted, then they go and finish them off, and then they cook it and eat it. You know, as a part of the festival. But I mean,
But they taunt it when they spear it.
Oh,
they
yeah.
They're taunting it. It's like, oh, come on.
oh yeah.
But
That's,
it's great when they attack them.
if you ever heard that
Always root for the bull.
Oh, you also, have you ever heard that theory? If a bull's charging for you, what you got to do is stand still and go on your side, and they can't see you.
Fuck off.
No. It's not
Just
fucking,
made you fucking
it's not
try
fucking
that.
T-Rex.
Imagine that.
If he stands there,
I don't
see
care
me.
what you say.
He's still coming for me.
I'm
in his mouth.
You wouldn't take that risk, would you?
No, what
a
the fuck?
bull like I don't know,
They say that with a
3-stone
grizzly bear
bull
and they
charging
crouch in the
him.
fucking
in the fetal position.
in the ball. What?
Hey.
She's ready to fuck up the ass.
Have you seen that film? What is it, Leonardo DiCaprio?
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
and he gets absolutely
What's it
smashed
called?
up by a
Revenant.
bull, Revenant, and he gets absolutely
That's
hammered
not
by a
best.
bull.
Best bear attack
Oh, that's
footage
crazy,
I've ever
that is.
seen in my
Bullshit,
life.
though.
It
yeah.
looks so
It's
real.
bullshit.
No, apparently it's meant to be true, that story. He crawled all the way through.
Yeah, because the bear attack is bullshit.
It's part of-
Pure graphic.
Surely, though.
It's
it
part of
would fucking-
American culture, isn't it? It's part of
Did it
American
really
folklore.
happen?
Apparently
They're
it
probably
did.
born in the
It was
tents
his
as that
name,
fight
Richard.
Yeah, I
scene.
don't think. Because
That's just Hollywood for you.
I'm not being funny.
He probably bear went out. He probably managed to get away and just stabbed
I
it. or
I
shot-
Swatted him
shot it.
across the head or something. And
I've actually read. I'm sure I read it somewhere, but it actually
Some people,
happened.
well, look
But
at
the son wasn't involved in the story. That he'd actually been ravaged by a bear, and the people. So all the people he was with, they were hunting beaver hats, weren't they? So what they do, they sell it in England and in France for loads of money. So people would actually go really deep into Indian territory to capture these beavers, like hundreds of them. But not just that, obviously they got attacked by Indians. Or it's so
Yeah,
dangerous to
crap.
do
Well,
it.
it's like a guy on YouTube who gets attacked by a bear where he sprayed this bear spray which is
Yeah.
supposed to stop him
Didn't do
and
dick.
it didn't do shit.
Yeah.
And he's there talking and he's got a flap of skin just
yeah, his cap.
his cap is
His
just
cap
holding
is
this
basically
flap of
keeping his
skin.
fucking scalp.
And he's
That's
just there
it.
going, yeah, I just sprayed it and it just kept on going for me. It's like fucking no
I've
shit.
heard stories though. People have shot like bears in the face with a shotgun, and it just keeps coming at you.
Again, it's just that.
Do you know,
Imagine
you're just
that.
pissing it off if you're fucking shooting it and he's still alive.
Have you seen that? Heard that story? There was this guy. He was a Canadian. I'm not sure. He's a doctor or some retired doctor. Anyway, what he used to do was he used to cuddle all the bears, and he used to go and he was like the bear whisperer, they called him. But he went to jail for it. Because in Canada, you're not allowed to sort of domesticate bears because people will get.
Have they ever
it encouraged-
successfully domesticated though?
Well, I don't. Well, I
Because
guess this guy
I've seen
claims.
videos of these people. There was one. It was like a live TV broadcast,
Yeah.
and you see like this guy, he's got a bear on a chain.
Yeah.
And the woman's sitting next to her like that,
Yeah.
and he just goes,
Yeah,
the
just
woman,
ravages it.
no, Fluffy, get off.
Yeah.
But this guy anyway, so it's against the law to try and sort of like domesticate him and feed him, the things like that. Because what it does, it encourages the bears to come into the local sort of like communities then, and obviously there's little kids and things like that. They'll get
In Russia,
killed.
they
2
still
minutes, boys.
In Russia, they still do it.
What's that? Try and domesticate.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They did recently at a football match.
Yeah.
They brought a bear on and got it to like clap
It's
in
all
front of a crowd.
It's
like.
all good fun until the bear gets a bit pissed off, isn't it? And it's not just that. I'm not a big fan of pets with kids. I'm a massive I don't trust dogs.
When I was
kids.
born, my mum and dad already had a dog.
Yeah. We had a dog for years, Trixie. We must have had for like over 10 years and things like that. A lovely, calm dog, everything. Wouldn't trust her with a kid. Would not trust her with a kid.
But I showed James something last week because I watched something about I heard something about Melanie Griffin.
Who's that?
She's an actress,
Oh, right.
Hollywood actress. She was like
Melanie Griffiths. Is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Oh, right,
Melanie
yeah.
Griffiths. Back in his teens, her parents now owned like a lion sanctuary,
All right.
and she did a film called Raw.
Oh, okay.
And she was like 18,
Yeah.
and basically it's just a bunch of lions attacking the cast. There's
Yeah.
no CGI.
Yeah. So it's like a documentary almost, is it?
Well, you believe it. You think it's a documentary, but no,
Yeah.
it's a film about like a family. They go to this house in like Africa, and it's just surrounded with lions.
Yeah, yeah.
But they think these lions are so cute and cuddly that
They grow up though, don't they?
The tame they're coming up to you, they're smooth with them, and these are proper lions now. There's there's not a guy in a suit or nothing like that. Proper lions. Then next you know, the lions start attacking people.
Yeah.
And like even though it's all stunt coordinated, it's fucking shit.
But the thing is though,
Because
like,
Melanie Griffiths, she got attacked on the ribs and all
Really?
that. She got scratched across the head. She got scalped in the head.
Oh my God.
And she had plastic surgery. So I'm wondering, was that film that caused her to keep on having facial surgery?
well, that's the thing about animals though. Animals never lose their animal instinct. And there's a good documentary called Project Nim. Have you seen that?
No, what's that?
So it's this woman, and it's a scientific experiment. And what they did, they had a chimpanzee, and they had one chimpanzee that was brought up as a human to see if they could become humans. So I'm not sure which university it was. This big project in America, and what they did, they brought this little chimp Nim, and they brought him up as a child. So they had nappies on him. They read him books. He became highly intelligent. Absolutely, he learned how to use money. So they would give him chips, which in the university he could go up and change that for ice cream. He used to love ice cream, so he'd go to the shop and this and that. He learned how to dress himself. He learned how to do things like simple sign language. He could communicate with sign language and things like that. So he did develop actually, and he was exceptionally intelligent, and they learned a lot from it. The only thing is then, when he grew up, he started attacking people. So in university campus, he attacked, I think, a few people.
It's when they get the teenagers, isn't it?
It was the one thing he couldn't grow out of.
Because
That
they
instinct.
go in
It was
their,
that instinct,
They go in their sexual peak, see?
And not just that, he would just like, and he was so big and so, when he was a
That's what
little
happened to
chimpanzee,
Bubbles
well,
with Michael
exactly,
Jackson.
and that's the thing about animals. They never lose their animalistic nature,
Yeah.
Which seems quite obvious, doesn't it? But I think a lot of people don't get that. When you're tickling a fucking lion,
Yeah.
Like
It's just
I was telling him
ridiculous.
about that row with Melanie Griffith.
oh my god, who's seen it?
I've not seen that,
Oh
no.
my god, it's
Oh,
horrific.
But that's it, though. And I was saying that I don't, regardless of what...
There's no CGI, is it?
No, it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, if you've seen it, I'll have to look at that.
It was on Joe Rogan. They were discussing it. Right, he was listening to it, and he said to me,
Yeah.
"Check it out." So I think you put it on, didn't you?
Yeah.
Fucking hell!
Terrifying.
Their heads are huge.
Yeah, oh,
they're
massive.
fucking so powerful, and they
There's
just
loads of them.
no, but it is. It's literally they just fucking come in from every doorway in the house, like,
Yeah.
and they're jumping up at you, and it seems playful, but then it just takes that one thing
Yeah.
to just
Yeah.
click in their heads.
Have you
and
seen
and
that-
you are fucked.
Have you seen that video on YouTube when they're on like a safari? They're on a safari tour and they're just going through and there's just long grass and they're all
the tiger.
taking their pictures.
Yeah.
And a tiger jumps out of
nowhere.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. Scary.
Nowhere. You couldn't see a thing.
Scary.
Have you seen the full video of it?
No.
They were hunting that tiger. They were.
Were they?
Yeah.
They were hunting it, and
they
spotted it in the grass. And of course, it disappeared. Next one, it just jumps up and just.
Yeah.
It got the guy, it got the guy, didn't it? But, you know,
I'm all for the tiger there.
Oh, definitely. If you get,
don't fuck with them. Don't fuck with them. Just leave them alone.
Well, it's like there's trophy hunting. There was a thing in the news. I think was it last week or the week before, and there was this girl, and she was she paid lots of money to go out to, I think it was somewhere in South Africa, to go and kill animals and things, and not just that. I think it was like I don't know, it was a lion, you know, it was a rare lion. But that's raw. I mean, I understand people hunting, like if you live in Canada or something and you'll hunt a deer and you'll eat that, like Alaskan bush people. Do you ever watch that?
Yeah, I mean, if you're hunting for food, fair enough. Or if you're hunting because there's a massive issue with a certain animal,
they're killing farmland,
rabbits,
and all that.
fucking up the ecosystems, whatever. Fair enough. But if you're just doing it as a sport,
and it's trophy hunting. It's trophy hunting, though, isn't it? You know, remember
if the lion was killing people in villages and stuff like that,
different,
and got
isn't it?
hunted to get, that's fair enough.
But remember a few years ago there was that dentist in America and he got absolutely slated.
Cyril the lion, or
That's
Cecil?
Cecil.
But wasn't it a reason why they killed the lion? Wasn't it an issue around that area?
No, it was. If I remember the story correctly, they were they bow hunting, and he went and his tracker had told him that he could kill that lion, but it was the wrong lion or something.
That's right, yeah, because the actual lion he killed was shot, but there was confusion with another type of lion, which they were allowed to kill apparently for some reason.
It's difficult because Louis Theroux does a really good documentary on it, and it's about this gamekeeper in South Africa. And what he does, he allows people, and they pay big money to come out. And they'll come out and they'll pay $20,000 to go and kill a lion or whatever. But what he says, and it's really difficult because he says the problem is I see myself as sort of like protecting these animals. Because what he does, if they were in the wild, they'd just be butchered and sold off for nothing. You know, people would kill them, skin them. And then just, but what he does, he's got a massive enclosure. He's got thousands of animals now. He feeds them. He gives them sort of like, he makes sure they're well, they're vaccinated so they don't die of diseases and things. Poachers can't come on his land because he's got security all around the place. It's really messed up.
But then he still allows people to kill them.
He does, but what he's saying is the money that he generates from this goes into.
Weird, though, isn't it? Like when it comes to hunting lions, these lions are oblivious to what's going on, and
it's difficult because what they do in some of these places I've seen, what they'll have is like a hunting place next to like a watering hole. Yeah, so they'll put all food around there.
Easy.
So it's not
like actually going into the wild.
Yeah.
That's not hunting.
No, it's not, is it?
And it's like bow hunting where like, and that's the thing, you know, and I think
if you're going in the woods, you're tracking, you're following the tracks.
The thing is, they know if you're going into the wild with lions, they'll fucking kill you.
Oh, the lions, you're screwed.
They'll smell you a mile away.
But it's difficult, isn't it? Because like us humans, we can't be trusted not to just destroy everything. And if you
to a degree, I think so. But there's a lot of people out there who, and particularly now with like technology getting better, we aren't able to do a lot of things without killing everything.
We are, but if you look at like the white rhino and something like that, it didn't like the last white rhino die in captivity.
Money, mate.
Just because people would kill them and just they like these massive.
But now with some rhinos now, what they're doing now is what they should have done is like tranquilize them, then sew off their things.
But
the animal lives.
But don't you think that's sad? That's the only way we can stop these animals from dying is by chucking them in a sanctuary where they're not going to be butchered.
Like the gorillas as well, isn't it?
Gorillas, and that's it. And it's like elephants. You know, I can't remember what they were saying. Is like 250,000 wild elephants in I can't remember, say South Africa or something.
Yeah.
Within
Asia.
Yeah, and now there's like 8,000 or something.
They're like the workforce
back
in
What's that? Is that down to hunting or is it down to
hunting?
Like the habitat being brought down and
mainly down to hunting and things like that. being poached for their tusks, for their ivory.
For
It's so
circuses
sad. It's so
and for
sad,
work.
isn't it? You just think like.
Because India still have elephants working.
Well, when I went to Thailand, when I was in Thailand, they had we went on a jungle trek, and part of the trek was too dangerous to walk, so we had to go on elephants. And even that, though, it's so weird because I went to an elephant sanctuary.
Oh, was it like tigers? Yeah.
It was just the terrain was like quite often where there was heavy rain.
No, not for animals.
Not
for animals then.
Well, where we were walking with, there was like massive logs in the way, and there was landslides and things like that. For people, it was really dangerous. But for the elephant, they just stand on it; they're not going anywhere, you know. And that's really odd because like they still use like elephants and things in the jungle to clear where they can't get trucks up there. So the elephants are going to clear logs that have fallen onto the road and stuff like that. So they're working elephants. They have donkeys and stuff like that they still use to ferry food around and stuff like that, but I mean they're treated with respect.
We have definitely outgrown circuses and like sea parks as well. They're fucked up.
Yeah,
We were going to
like
Lanzarote and you see these like killer whales jump through hoops and dolphins and even at the time before all this Blackfish, that documentary come out, you just look at it and think this is just wrong.
Yeah, it just don't look right. It's not
It's
a
just
natural
all
environment,
types of
is it?
wrong. You know what I mean?
See a massive gorilla or like a massive elephant
just
that's just
fucking
subject to standing on a little thing and people
Well,
cheering.
I went to Devon on a coast, went on a boat, and I saw a wild dolphin. Which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Out in the open, doing his thing.
Yeah.
And it was jumping out, come swimming on the boat with the boat
Yeah.
and all that.
We went to when I was going
through hoops.
when I was going from one of the islands from I think it was where the beach was filmed actually, Mayo Bay, and we saw a turtle just in the sea. It was as big as this table. You don't
massive,
know
eh?
how big they
Yeah.
are. It was massive, and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
So what about mythical beasts then, Chris?
Mythical beasts.
Werewolves.
No, you're right. Yeah. So the story. Did you
see that?
I put the link on, and we'll have to definitely put it on.
A guy in France back in, I don't know, 19th century, he was the only man to ever been accused of being a werewolf.
Well, quite often, like sort of in England and things like that, they would bloody burn for being a witch or a spiritual, a god or whatever.
And if you can swim, you're fucked.
Yeah, but it was quite, back in medieval times, you could be accused of all sorts of crazy stuff. There was a really famous story that this guy, he died and his body needed to be exhumed a few days later for some reason, and he had blood coming out of his mouth. They accused him of being a vampire, and they stuck a stake through him. And again, it's just part of the dying process. So back in the time,
it's like,
you could be accused of anything.
Well, it's like people with epilepsy. They think they were getting possessed by the devil.
Oh, yeah. That happened a lot. People with Alzheimer's and things like that back in the day when they were gone mad. They were just probably stoned to death or killed or whatever. Yeah. But anyway, there is some chilling footage of a Wolfman in there, James. That comes to light this week.
Have you seen
it? We'll have to put it on. And basically, it's in America.
I know it's Mexican kids, is it?
No, it's... I saw that one. But there's a 7 foot... It looks like... I don't know. It looks massive, doesn't it? A wolf chasing a dog.
So basically, it's a guy. He's in the woods. Where was it filmed to? Does it say?
Let's have a look. It doesn't say here.
So there's a guy.
I don't know.
There's a guy and he's on his mobile and his dog's barking at this huge black thing on 4 legs.
Montana.
And the dog gets a bit close, and next to you, it's chasing. No, this big black. It looks like a wolf.
It's massive in there.
It chases the dog.
You said Montana. It could be a wolf.
Yeah. Oh no, it's definitely a wolf.
It looks very much like a wolf, but I think
it's not a werewolf. It's shot in the daytime.
A wolf is massive.
This is huge.
If a human is to transform into a wolf, it won't be any bigger than a wolf.
How come they're seen as a werewolf rather than just a fucking big wolf?
This is in the sun, James. That's a werewolf.
A werewolf is when a guy
turns into a wolf.
Yeah, when it's a full moon. I mean, it's blatantly like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Not just that. Look at that. It's midday. But why is the guy filming his dog being bloody absolutely battered by a wolf, chased by a wolf? Why didn't he just
I'd be gone.
I would like that.
When Joe Rogan talks about his dog getting attacked by the mountain lion in his garden.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but like it just goes back. We've talked about this loads of times when things happen and people just stand there filming it.
I know.
It's like, what the hell are
Do
you
you
doing?
remember that story about that couple who died in, I'm sure it was Australia or somewhere? They were kind of taking a selfie on the edge of like a fucking cliff.
You can't feel sorry for people like that, though, can you?
It's like, oh, come on.
Well,
know your surroundings.
Remember we were
But selfies aren't now. We used to have selfies on the Polaroid days in the 80s.
Yeah.
I was watching In a Space earlier, and Dennis Gray pulls out a Polaroid. He does this with this.
Yeah.
People do, don't they? I think the first selfie was taken in 1901. Have you seen it? It's just three guys in top hats, all just like that next to each other. Imagine how long they have to stay there though for that.
Oh yeah.
You want a selfie, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Someone must have lit the gunpowder for the flash.
But we literally are, like, I'm conscious of it now, fucking glued to our phones. It's ridiculous.
Ironically, as you're saying that,
I was just
I'm
saying
looking
it,
through my
Tom,
phone.
Chris is on his phone. No, but we are though. And I was walking the other day, and there was these two guys, one in his late teens, the one in his probably 40s, both glued to their phones.
I find it a bit disturbing when you walking like in a busy area, and people just looking down on it, and like, because I don't go on my phone when I'm in town and walking around. I'm dodging them rather than dodging me.
In New York, it's illegal. You're not allowed to walk around with your headphones on anymore because people are walking through New York with their headphones on. I don't know how many people got run over.
Good.
So you're not, and there's signs everywhere. You're not allowed to have them on. I remember when I was there, and it makes sense, but it's just technology,
So
isn't
busy,
it?
you wouldn't want to fucking walk around with just headphones. In fact, when I'm in town, I have one in or I have it on very low if I'm listening to music because you just don't know. You just,
There's another story this week which I found was really, really funny. And we've talked about something similar to this before in the past. There was a guy in Japan who his family thought he was dead, and they turned up to a police. They turned up to the coroners and identified him as being this guy that's dead. And he turns up back to his house a few days later.
Honey, I'm home.
It's like, what the hell? What
happened here then?
Well,
obviously they misidentified.
The body. They thought that the guy had gone missing. They thought he was dead. They went to this, to see a body, and they said, "Yeah, that's our relative." Yeah. He turns up a few days later, bloody alive, didn't he?
So, what did he say? Where he was? What he was doing?
I'm not sure. So, there was a body found in the river the same day as this guy went missing. So in the same area.
So obviously
they just two and two. This guy had gone missing. There's a dead body. Yeah.
Do you see where he went? Because that'd be interesting.
But apparently it says here there's a culture in this particular area for insurance. People will fake their own death.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon for people to go missing.
Man, remember them?
Who?
The copper who faked his own
death.
death.
Was that the canoe people? And they were found in a canoeing sort of place, weren't they?
And like the wife lied to the kids.
That's so messed up.
And they only got caught because she went on holiday and there was a photograph of her and her husband.
Oh my god!
And that's how they got caught.
I just think it's so.
And he had like a fake wall in a room, like
serious.
No, I was talking to someone about that just the other day. Imagine that though. See how making up you're dead.
Lying to your kids as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's so messed up, isn't it? The kids must have been in on that.
No, they didn't. They disowned their parents as soon as they.
You would do, wouldn't you? Imagine if your mum says to you.
They didn't go, oh, he's alive.
They must have been older kids,
they were devastated.
Yeah. Oh, you would be, though, wouldn't you?
See, I think it was a severed shark head stuffed with cigarette butts was found impaled on a fence at Australian Marine Rescue Office. That's nice, graphic as fuck.
Oh, my God. Is that a real head? Isn't it real?
Yeah, real shark's head.
It's like a Jaws.
It's a lot of effort, though, isn't it? To go catch one, chop his head off and impale it on a fucking fence.
To be fair though, if you got one of those sharks, you'd want to show off, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's some type of fucking shark and run activity, that isn't it? That's some type of fucking.
You would have to run after that, wouldn't you?
There was a shark washed up on a beach in Australia the other day. A mako shark.
There's a shark washed up on a Welsh beach. My sister gladly messaged me this story.
Can you remember a few?
23-foot shark.
God, imagine that.
I thought. 23-foot shark, only shark I can think
of. Sorry, 23 stone shark.
Oh.
Only 23-foot shark I can think of, which would be in that area, if not by the Como Coast, is a basking shark.
A Sharkado, one of them. See those sharks off that?
Because great whites only go to like 18. You very rare see a 20-footer.
Yeah.
And if so, there'd be more in Cape
God,
Town.
they don't need to be more than
Or
20
Mexico.
foot. Yeah, that's enough, isn't there? But can you remember a few years ago, a whale washed up on the Nap, didn't there?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah,
Wales
briefly with that,
Wales went through the Thames as well. Remember that?
Yeah. And those dolphins, remember? They
Yeah.
got stuck there.
Google Maps, that's what they need.
Big massive tuna go up the River Severn.
Is this amazing, though? Have you seen... I was watching a documentary a
Bigfoot
few
tuna.
months ago. I hate
Sandwiches and
tuna. Absolutely hate tuna and salmon. And prawns.
Love a bit of fish.
Did you see that thing a few years ago? I was watching Blue Planet, and they had these dolphins, and what they would do is they would, I think, it's in the Philippines. And what they would do, they would chase all the fish upstream to this sort of like thing, and they would help the people catch the fish.
Yeah.
You see that?
Yeah.
And then they'll...
Yeah. Then they would just chuck them some fish in there.
Yeah.
But it's amazing, isn't it? You know.
Intelligent.
Well,
Very
we were going
intelligent.
on about how cruel we are to people and animals and things like that, but I mean, they'll be here long after we're gone. And you think, who are the most intelligent ones, you know? Think of sharks and things that have stayed away from
The
us.
thing is, right, the myth is they're like, we're kind of like running out of room or running out of food or we're not fucking running out of anything.
No.
Yeah, we're just greedy.
We just greed.
Yeah.
And we're made to believe things
We're
are
running out,
scarce
yeah.
because then you could hike the prices.
I was watching this, I listened to this amazing podcast. I'm not going to plug it, but it was a really interesting podcast.
What, you mean the Lad Chat podcast?
It was a lot. And anyway, and what they were talking about was when the Americans went to settle in after they had the war with the Indians, and anyway, the Indians agreed that they would go and live on these reservations. But what happened was the reservations they gave them were absolutely massive. They were huge, and they basically said, the Americans or the settlers, we want this good land. You go over there and you go over there. You know, we leave you alone. But what they discovered actually was the land that they'd given them was full of gold. So not only did they want the good land, they then wanted the land of the gold, the land with all the gold in there. So this is what happened, you know, with the Battle of Little Bighorn and things like that. The whole reason that they actually got into a battle was because the Sioux and the all the different tribes that were there is the Americans or the settlers wanted to take their gold. And you just think, like, they've taken your country, now they're taking your gold, and it's just...
Stop, mate. That's the thing.
But that's it, and I
It's
this,
like it out with oil. This is
no,
it.
this is just with humans in general, isn't it? I'm talking about here. And you think, like, we've devastated sort of the land now, you know, the rhinos we were just talking about and all these elephants, that we actually have to put them in sanctuaries so we won't kill them all. The seas we're filling up with bloody plastic straws and tampons and bloody cotton
I'm not
earbuds.
to blame for the tampons.
I'm not taking that. But
Save
again,
the tampons.
but again now, and even like they talk. I was reading this article a few months ago, and they were talking about all the crap that we're chucking around in space as well now. So it just
Plastic
seems
in the oceans.
plastic in the oceans, and not just that. Like so, the land's fucked, the sea's fucked, and now we're messing up space. They're actually having to develop spacecraft that can go up there and collect all the crap that we've left up there.
We're like the jippos of the galaxy.
We just seem. I think
with that fucking nightmare neighbour who just trashes
Yeah.
everything.
It ends up like a Disney film, Wall-E.
yeah. Oh, it just seems like our nature, you know, when we talk about recycling and things like that.
Well,
we don't want to recycle. We just want to destroy everything.
Yeah, but I think with
rubbish, you got to dump it somewhere.
You have to dump it somewhere.
Try and make something of it.
We're so intelligent. We sent someone to the moon, allegedly. We can make biodegradable stuff.
Part of it is because it's this planned obsolescence of, you know, we manufacture shit that doesn't last.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're throwing away a lot of stuff. It all comes back to money.
Do you know they were saying a refrigerator? If you left a refrigerator out in the sun or you buried it, it would be there for like 58,000 years. 58,000 years. That's how long it lasts. They were saying one nappy, and my daughter and son between them, I don't know how many hundreds they go for a month. It would take like 600 years for one nappy to degrade. That's crazy.
They got real
We probably won't even be living on Earth by the time that this crap my daughter had this morning degrades, you know?
Again, but like it's like the plastics and all that, and they're trying to change, you know, carrier bags to more of a kind of natural, biodegradable, plant-based material that'll just
use
perish.
as a fertilizer thing.
Well, if you think, right, humans have been on this Earth for hundreds of thousands of years. if you know, for evolution and things like that. It's only in the last 100 years we've started developing plastics and we've started developing all this wrapping stuff. Yeah. And look at the rate that we're destroying the earth now. It's not sustainable.
No, but this is the point here with technology. We are ahead of ourselves to an extent. You know, we're not realising the damage we're causing.
No, absolutely.
Not just to the planet and all that green shit, even to ourselves and fucking society, you know. It's almost like we've had an upper hand on technology. We're not quite prepared for it. Because, you know, society is...
Roswell, Jim.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
Exactly.
1947 is interesting, yeah.
A lot happened, yeah.
Bilderberg, the Queen, Roswell. But this is the point, though, isn't it? With technology... You know, we are hopefully now starting to get our heads around what we have in our hands and what we're capable of. Yeah. And maybe, hopefully, like you think about, like, you know, universal basic income and you know, AI. You know, what is the future for us?
Yeah.
You know, because
it's looking bleak.
Technology now, because phones and tellies.
Yeah, but that's it. Mundane jobs are going to be something of the past.
Well, even
taxi drivers, delivery guys. You know, fucking teachers and lecturers. Who needs those anymore when you got Wikipedia?
Well, not just that. What they're doing now...
about taxi drivers, I don't think that there'll be a Miss who knows Uber cars that fail badly. They've scrapped them altogether.
No, I'm talking about like self-driving cars.
Yeah,
do you know
they tried them in Canada. They'd run people over and killed.
No, but they will perfect that.
Do you know in Australia they have convoys of driverless cars that go across the desert? Do you know that?
No.
They just go in a straight line, follow each other all the way down.
There's a desert though, isn't
No, I know, but if you think how amazing that is, that's already here.
No, but they will perfect that technology.
Yeah, of course they will.
No, right, he's right. They've not quite. Obviously, it's been quite terrifying.
Well, in Australia, you're not getting. It's not like Manhattan, is it? Where you've got hundreds of people running out in front of you.
Some people have mistaken cruise control for self-driving.
Yeah.
Because cruise control just keeps a steady speed, so they think. Oh.
I'll have a quick nap.
Yeah, but I realise
wake up in the bloody stitch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? You know, and
if a car's coming towards you, press your brake.
Well, even like lots of manufacturing jobs now, that's all going, isn't it?
It'll all be
turn
gone.
into
Telling you now, it'll all be gone.
I'm wishing.
No, but the thing is, though, if you think about it, and if you've seen this, it's a new kitchen sort of aid, and it can prepare meals. Have you seen it? It's like a big arm.
Yeah.
And it's like $80,000.
You can show it how to make
Yeah, you just download a recipe. Yeah.
Make a chicken.
No, what it does, it copies all the top chefs, and it learns their cooking techniques. So you'll just buy the ingredients and leave it, and it will cook it for you. It's unbelievable, isn't it? And if you think $80,000 or $150,000 a lot of money, but if you think about money in terms of your time,
but it's,
over a lifetime.
In a flair of cooking, you bring your own touch.
Yeah, it is, but people are too busy now, aren't they? Look at like ready meals and stuff like that. I love to cook, but I haven't.
But ready meals don't taste as good.
No. They'll be fab. No, but that's the thing. Imagine you can program something to prepare you a meal like you get in a 5-star restaurant.
Yeah. Minus the attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, minus the attitude. No, but imagine we will get to that time.
You'll get that time, but it's the finesse that people add a different ingredient and put in. Yeah, but as you put the extra thing in.
Get rid of all that now.
Yeah, my brother-in-law too much salt.
Finger, pinch of salt.
But it's even in like sort of like even food now. It's just gone crazy because even I was watching this program the other week and it was about the world's most luxurious airlines. Have you seen it? And it's literally now when you go to first class in like Qantas and Virgin, literally it's like having a Michelin star meal. They will give you ridiculous like lobsters and. Bloody, you know, we're in the bloody back in the cattle class. You've just got a sweaty thing of chips.
The fucking cereals, your Cocoa Pops. AI is going to be the future. Well, it is the future, and it's scary to know where we're going to end up. Are we going to end up like the Matrix, just plugged into some mass system, or are we going to live in fucking utopia where we let the machines do the work and we can explore other things like
then humans so dumbed down?
No,
they will.
No, there's an argument to say no. But this is the point. This is the point in it. We're dumbed down now because we're doing the same shit job. No, you won't. Trust me. Well, it's possible, but
if AI is doing everything,
Yeah, all the manufacturing, all the mechanical, all the
All the
systematic
history
shit.
there has been written by AI.
What are we saying that?
Well,
Yeah.
you're not doing it, you.
Why are
The
we?
fucking computer's doing it.
Why are we? Because no, we still program
Well,
stuff.
you just said yourself.
Yeah,
AI
they
is
will.
gonna-
They'd say, yeah, manufacturing, building of
Well,
things.
manufacturing, it could lead to... So if they get them into the home, that's it, you're fucked.
The way I see it is this, right?
Terminator.
The way I see it is this. It could turn out wrong. AI could be like Terminator and take over. Skynet and all that.
Skynet, as soon as they
Or-
switch it over, we're fucked.
Or if you look at things like the Venus Project, where they say we utilize technology to enable humanity to be human beings, you know, spend all day in looking at the arts, being creative.
What when a
being
human
more-
being gets bored and
But
starts
isn't a
going on a
human
killing
being
spree?
there having a
What
sense of
stops that
purpose,
then?
isn't
Huh?
there?
What when a human being gets bored and goes on a killing spree?
Nothing can stop that.
They're fucked then, you know.
No, well, no, but you don't know what's in place. You don't know what's in place. I'm not saying you should fucking go around just hugging everybody. Everybody's love and peace and unicorns. That's never going to happen.
Nah, it's never going to happen.
But you need to ask the question, what makes a serial killer?
Fucking AI.
Yeah. I think it's people just being... we
Using
don't know.
What is a serial killer, though?
You can't get into those people's
So
heads,
it
can
kills
you?
people a lot of times.
No, how do they come about, though, isn't it? Usually it's from traumatic experiences as a child.
Or usually,
Sometimes
they like
it's
the
head
first
trauma.
kill, they get away with it. They
Yeah,
sort
but
of think,
why
oh,
do
it's a
they
buzz.
do the first kill?
Boredom, maybe. Who knows?
Well, there we go. We live in a utopia where you can be fulfilled and happy. Maybe they'll reduce quite significantly.
Or is it just natural?
But that's the point. Is it natural? But then again, if we spent more time focusing on humanity and humans and psychology
we'd be
and social
dead
things.
before that happens anyway,
Oh, yeah.
so I don't
That's
give a
not
fuck.
gonna
I don't know. Next Wednesday's
Yeah, until next time.
next
isn't it?
Wednesday is the day.
Guys, I got a good conspiracy. Do you all want to hear it?
Go on then.
Welcome to Chris's Conspiracy Corner.
Really, it's a time traveling one, but it's got a bit of substance to this one. I know we've done this. I've talked about time travel before. So, if anyone ever heard this guy called Andrew Carson,
No.
no,
Doesn't
not
ring
ring
a bell.
So anyway, so in March 2003, okay, there's this guy, Andrew Carson, 44-year-old. He was arrested by the FBI. So he's a Wall Street trader. So in 2 weeks, he made an investment of $800, into 350 million. And he made 126 investments, which all paid off, really high risk ones.
All of them?
Every single one of them paid off.
Okay.
So he's interviewed by the FBI, and what he said was he had inside. They were trying to get him. It's illegal
Like
to
fraud.
obviously. They thought he was an inside trader, so he was getting inside information, which is
Yeah.
illegal. You know,
Yeah.
you can't gamble on that because obviously it's not
Yeah.
on. But what he said, he was interviewed for 4 hours, and he said that he had prior knowledge, but because he was a time traveler. So he said in his day, he'd studied the stock market from 2003, which was around when the crash happened. So big companies were going bankrupt here, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And he was investing on big companies going bankrupt and small companies making money as well. So he claims he was from the year 2,256. And he'd spent years studying the stock market. What he said is he was going to spread this out over a few months.
Proof AI didn't work.
Well, he said that he wasn't planning on he was going to do it, so he was going to lose some money, he was going to gain, so it looked natural. So
Yeah,
he wouldn't
yeah.
But anyway, he said
He lost
after
the
his
plot.
first few ones, when he started just making huge amounts of money, he just went crazy and just started like doing trade after trade after trade. They all paid off.
Okay.
So what he said, he was interrogated by the FBI for 4 hours, and they couldn't actually connect him with anything. They couldn't get him done for inside trading.
Yeah.
So they had to release him. He was grilled. So he said, as the story goes, he was able to provide information on where Bin Laden was. So he claims he helped out to find Bin Laden.
Is this proof? Is this proven? Or?
Wow, it's not.
So this is
This
all the
is
information
this
is
what the
from.
story's from. So this is.
Where's this information?
So this first came out. It was on Facebook, on YouTube. I don't know, about 7 or 8 years ago.
Is there any
There's a few
documents?
articles. Well, initially the FBI did say that they'd arrest the guy, but then they said that it wasn't true. Okay. So first of all, they said it was true, then they recounted it. Okay. So the FBI apparently did a check on this guy, and there was no record of him. The only record they could find of him was 3 months before he started becoming a Wall Street trader. So there's no record of this guy anywhere in America. They couldn't find anything of him before, okay? Which is absolutely amazing, because what he used as proof is do you know the time-traveling hipster? I've shown you that picture before. There's a picture of a guy 2 people away from him, and it looks very much like this guy Andrew Carson. And actually, when you look at it, he stands out. These 2 people, for some reason, just stand out now.
What did he do? He just disappeared, did he?
So what happened was then, because the FBI couldn't actually find him to charge him with anything, they released him. They set a bail for $1 million.
Yeah.
Someone turned up a few hours later with $1 million in cash. This guy was wearing a black suit, tall hat, really tall glasses, never gave it a proper name when the police checked it out after the bail was posted. It turns out it was not a known company, not a known person. No one knows who this person was, okay? So this guy, Andrew Carson, then was meant to come back then to appear in court, but he was never seen again. No one's ever heard from him again. No one's ever seen him again. He's never traded or anything again. There's no record of him in the whole of America.
There's any pictures of this guy? Any images?
Did he? What about the money he made? Did any of that?
But it was all confiscated. The FBI confiscated it while they were.
So he didn't take anything back to the future. Then?
He did. Well, he was planning on living in the now, so he wasn't planning on going
I was
back.
going to say, because the money wouldn't be really worth dick, would it?
Yeah.
Well, no, 100.
Like
$1 million would be just a
It'd probably be worth a lot more then, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I think of inflation.
Well,
or something
no,
now.
probably there's no interest in money in the future.
Yeah,
But he did. He came down.
So
He wouldn't give up, so he's
See, this is
interrogated.
where the plausible when
Huh?
when time travel. When
So-
people say AI and or shit like that and get time travel, it just proves it don't exist.
What do you
is
think?
there anything? Does he say anything about the future?
Apparently, yeah, he gave information about they've cured cancer, and he was able to give some information about that to the FBI. He was
See,
talking
wrong people
about,
to give information to, isn't it?
Yeah.
but he was interrogated for 4 hours. They
Yeah,
wanted
but if he's in the future, you know the dirt. If you knew his history,
Yeah.
you would have known the dirt about the past FBI, not to fucking trust them.
I don't know
You would, if he's
but
from
what-
the future and he took his knowledge to gather money
Yeah.
for Wall Street, he must have known about the FBI
Yeah.
and done a research about the FBI.
But one thing that they said is he was being grilled for 4 hours straight about where his time machine was, and he wouldn't give it up because he didn't trust what the FBI would do with it.
Did he not say?
He wouldn't say what happened.
So he
to
actually there was some type of like.
he wouldn't tell them.
Well,
what
you
it
probably
was.
had the lie detector test, and they probably said, "Oh, where's that?"
Well, they
I
yeah.
can't say, and it would have said true.
It didn't talk about a lie detector test. What it said is all they couldn't find he was being
Or
untruthful.
polygraph thing.
They couldn't find
couldn't
any
fi-
connection with him inside trading. They couldn't find anything.
Ah.
Interesting one, isn't it?
There's no pictures of the guy.
There is pictures. You can find if you type in Andrew Carson. He's
have a
like
look now, I
a
can't find
normal looking guy.
Andrew Carson with a
blonde
K or
hair.
a C?
C.
Carson time travel.
You've seen the picture? And if you actually look on the time traveling hipster, and there's a guy that looks just like this guy, only a few things
Carlson
away.
or Carson?
Carson, Carson. 44 at the time.
Oh yeah, that guy.
And if you look on the time traveling hipster,
Okay, so that's in there then, yeah.
that's him, yeah.
All right, and then if you look.
Time traveling hipster. You have to type it into Google, and the guy is like 2 rows away, and he actually produced that as evidence that it was him. What do you think, guys?
Oh yeah, here.
What's the time traveler hipster?
That guy there.
Oh, the one with the sunglasses now, is it? That one.
So he stands out, and he stands out, and that's Andrew Carson. He claims
Does actually look a bit like him.
it does look like him, doesn't it?
Saying that Jay-Z's got from the future, and Nicolas Cage, and Keanu
Keanu Reeves.
Reeves.
What do you think then?
It's interesting.
I think it's more plausible than anything.
There's a
because-
lot of doppelgangers.
Please,
Like,
it is
like he
also-
showed me a Mexican Charles Bronson.
Yeah,
I did.
yeah.
And he does look
It's interesting.
a Mexican Charles Bronson.
I don't know what I think about this, actually. I'm a bit skeptical about this.
So is it? There's hard evidence that this actually took place
Well, the FBI claimed that they did arrest some guy at the same time
for those
reasons, yeah.
and they said he actually got all those investments absolutely spot
Yeah,
on.
126 high stake trades, and he all of them paid off. So it's like doing.
So he was brought in for that crime. That crime happened by that person. That's legit.
That's what was said.
And his statement of time travel is also documented and legit.
I guess so. Yeah, I've not seen it,
Maybe
but
just a
none of this is.
mathematical
I mean,
genius.
but this is it though, isn't it? It's like if you were time traveling, you had inside information. The first thing I would do is go back and bloody make shitloads of money, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was like off Back to the Future Part 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
You take
Biff.
the, yeah.
Interesting one. We'll have to stick a link up to the story and a link
It
up
actually
to the
says on
pictures.
here, Carlson disappears. Do you remember Back to the Future Part 2 when old Biff travels back in time? That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2256 the year.
Yeah.
He looks very smug at his
But you would be if you know that
Picture.
nothing's going to happen. It's like time cops, isn't it? Don't they? They go back. Have you seen that? And they try.
Yeah.
There's a sort of like convoy, isn't there, of gold, and these guys just jump out with machine guns and just take out these guys. You seen that?
man's 174 mile per hour sneeze blows wife's hair off. There's a picture as well.
What do you think, guys? I don't know. It's an interesting one. I can see why
The
people.
thing is, because we haven't got all the facts, there's nothing. We haven't got. Unfortunately, there's nothing here to say.
There never is, and I did have a look to see if there were statements.
Well,
and things
if he's
like that,
listening
but-
to this in the future, right, please
Come back.
pop back and tell us.
Come
Yeah.
back.
In about 5 seconds.
Go. It's not
Nah, we wouldn't have to ask
Yeah.
him though, because he'd
He's
already
there.
know, wouldn't he? He'd already know.
I love it to be true, though. Again, like
Yeah.
all these.
I don't know,
all
I'm
these
sceptical about this
conspiracies.
one.
I love it to be true.
I'm very skeptical about this one. It's a good story, but then again, as you say, there's no information on it. You know, it's just hearsay. This is what was said because I've read one report that no is absolutely fabricated. Then I've read another one that actually it was true. They'd arrested
Yeah.
this guy who'd skipped the country, skipped bail.
Who knows, right?
There's probably loads of stories of, like
There's fucking tons of time travel.
But the only thing
travelers.
the only thing I'm interested in this story is that guy really does look like the guy in the time
does,
traveling
actually.
hipster, and we'll
I
put
will
it on
give you that.
Facebook. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks just like him.
Ladchatpodcast at yahoo.com. Send us an email. Get in touch. Ladchat Podcast, Instagram, SoundCloud, iTunes. Just Google us. We'll be number one. All right, Ed. Take it easy. Till next time. Goodbye.
Bye.